Welcome back to the Smart Nonsense Podcast, where we talk about smarts nonsense, baby.
Nonsense. I was supposed to come in there. My bad.
Pop's got a mouthful of filet mignon,
Mignon.
medium rare.
Not that kind of place, dude.
Chipotle fast food
It's
salads.
just whatever they got. You're taking.
Yeah. Beggars can't be choosers out here.
But no, it's juicy. It's juicy. So,
It's just,
actually, well, I got filet mignon. I got some gnocchis.
you're adding like a yon. You're adding like an extra yon or something.
My family's French.
If by French
way
you mean
back.
Rhode Island Cuban.
And then I got a half rack of ribs.
What?
I forgot about those, dude. I was
Dude.
like, what is this? It's a half rack.
I have a lot of questions.
And-
So I guess we'll start
beans.
here on October 9th, 2024. One, you've gotten rid of the sweet green diet. We don't have to talk about that necessarily. Two, who eats a half rack of ribs for lunch? Like alone?
Well, I
not like
ordered it at 10 a.m. too. I just forgot to pick it up.
It's a half
well,
rack of ribs.
so here's the thing. There's with Amex.
Gonna get it all over your white sweater.
I know, I was so worried. Oh my! Oh no, it's just a fly. With Amex, with the gold card, with the
Dude,
gold
I
card.
swear to you and you're a victim of all these stupid offers.
Such a victim, dude.
Like you're an economist, right? And I'll hit you with one economical thing, which is externalities, positive and negative externalities.
No, I'm down. I'm under 175, so I can have a half rack.
You can have a half rack for lunch. All right.
No, but I do acknowledge the externalities. Actually, I was thinking about having a double charburger last night.
Oh wait, can I finish my thought?
Oh yeah.
There's you get food for a great value, but the negative externality is you're consuming more calories than you need to. So actually, the best thing is to just not take the offer. It's to eat less.
There was this delicious breakfast that I was really looking forward to this morning, but it no longer had their like $3 off offer. So I instead got a half rack of ribs, which I really didn't want, which is fucking.
That's the externality. I quote, "I really didn't want," but now you're gonna eat it.
I wanted. They had a nice halloumi and beautifully cooked eggs. It's like the one where, it's almost like an embryo. The egg, I forget what that form.
Oh, that's a
factor is
yolk.
called. but
Poached.
But it's like it's got the. I don't know, something really. It's not poached. It's like nicer than that. It's like dipped in water and it doesn't. I'm not an egg chef, but no, just had $10 credits for Amex Gold, so I got 2 lunches. So no, off to a good start. Really good start to my day, if I'm being honest.
BOGO.
And maybe, well, yeah, you can't lose with the BOGO. And then,
Early pod, gonna go to your mom's birthday.
yeah, surprise birthday. As long as I don't miss my train, which I always get scared when it's like your train's delayed 2 hours and then you plan on 2 hours, but like they might like undelay it. So I'm kind of worried about the undelay.
That's where I don't know what's legal or not.
Right.
That trips me up all the time with planes because I think it has happened to me where they delay it 2 hours for weather or something, but then they actually bring it back, and I'm like, is that legal?
Yeah. I don't know.
If I'm there, I'm happy about it. I'm happy it was brought back. But if I decided to not go,
Well, if you're shooting a podcast and risking your mom's birthday.
Exactly.
But where do I want to start? Well, one thing.
Palmer Luckey, maybe.
Oh, sure, that's something, dude. That's my friend. You forget that prefix. Yeah. So my friend Palmer Luckey, he's been on a tear recently. He's going back at Jason. Actually, he had a little. For context, he had a little back and forth with.
Sorry, I spaced out. Did you say my friend Palmer Luckey?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I heard that. And for the listener, they are not friends. Don't know each other. Probably
Not
never
yet.
will.
But I clapped in the audience at the All In Summit for him. One of 1,000 people there. He has this beef because he got kicked out of Twitter and lost his baby, which is a Oculus VR company. He did that when he was like fucking 20 years old. made a couple $1 billion, but got the boot and now had to start a defense company. And so he has all these qualms, and like I guess Jason Calacanis of the All In podcast shit on him in the process and helped get him fired from Facebook and lose his baby. So he's had this like chip on his shoulder for the past decade. And so like recently on Twitter, the CTO of Facebook or Meta, he publicly apologized to Palmer. He's like,
That was
"Hey,
really
I just
cool.
learned about all the facts," and Palmer was like, "Yeah, right on, man. Like, appreciate it." And it was just totally happy. And then Jason's like, "Yeah, I wish more people did this shit." And he's like, "Fuck you, you fucking coward! Like, you suck my ball." Like, he didn't. That's not verbatim, but
I didn't
in
see any
spirit,
of
dude.
that.
Yeah, he was just like, "Why can't more people make amends like this?" And he's like, "You're a fucking, you're a snake. You're like a fucking." He just started flaming him and calling him like retard and everything. And then there was a whole like Palmer versus the retard community.
Oh,
So
geez.
there was just a lot, but one person was like, they somehow responded to Palmer of like him being bought out by like the RNC, like the Republicans were like paying him or something. And he's like, that makes, he's like, "I'm a billionaire, retard," or something. That was his response. And all right, connecting the dots here, maybe I can follow for anyone else. But
The
I had a
verbal Twitter.
tweet recently that was like, "I don't understand the point of being a billionaire. Basically, it's like the only good things is like, one, you can buy a nice empty house, like a big empty house,
Sassy
and
cat.
sassy cat, and number two, you can buy a private jet or something, which is like 1% of your life or 0.1% of your life."
Sassy cat.
And then I came in with point three after seeing this Palmer tweet. I was like, "You can say shit like this," and then I like added his tweet, which is like, "I'm a billionaire, retard." Now I wake up to Palmer then saying he had a good tweet. I want to get him verbatim.
It was actually really good.
Um,
And this thread is called Twitter, like just the
my Twitter
Oh.
friends.
no, well, sure. Okay. I was gonna say like the power of Twitter, maybe,
Oh,
or
yeah,
how
yeah.
cool is Twitter, but those weren't good thread names.
Well, what was funny was I woke up and I was looking at. I have a chat with my friends here, and they were sending like all these Palmer tweets, and I'm like, "Yeah, I saw those. Those are awesome." And the last one, it says at Dylan Jardin, and like when you see the preview, I'm like, "What the fuck? That's me." So he responded to my say shit like to my billionaire point. You are thinking.
So your billionaire tweet is basically like, what's the point?
Okay, why I
Summarize
never? Yeah, here, this tweet will be
Summarize
on
your
screen for
billionaire
you.
tweet. No, it won't.
Why I never understood wanting to become a billionaire. Only advantages are: one, bigger empty house; two, private jets, which are like 1% or 0.1% of your life; and three, say shit like this, and it's Palmer's. "I am literally a billionaire, retard." So those are my 3 points, and then he comes in and he's like, "You are thinking with a consumption mindset. Being a billionaire indeed
Yes.
won't get you much on that front. For people with a creation mindset, though, it opens up massive possibilities."
That's a great reply.
So good, dude. So freaking good. And then my reply, because it's my friend and we go back and forth. I
Never
said,
see him again.
creation over consumption. Unfortunately, most people just make bullshit B2B SaaS to buy a yacht. You're one of the few doing good quests. A good
Oh.
quest is like,
Gave him a kiss right on the lips.
yeah.
Dude, how long did it take you to craft that one?
No, I just
You're
fired that one off.
Okay, you're one of the few doing making good quests, which is a
I
deep
just had
cut.
to look up if good quest was the right.
I know
right
it's
term.
a deep cut from something he's said or written about in the past. Or Paul Graham
from
quests.
Pirate Wire, which is like Founders Fund related. That's a really good blog post though. Good quest. It's basically like people get rich and then they just like either buy yachts or like use that money to then do like a moonshot company like an Elon Musk or Palmer Luckey. But point's just really good. It's like
Your
like
frame
for
was
us, yeah. I just never thought about. Well, I did think about creation. I just think most people don't use that as their rationale for getting rich. They're more like, I want to be a billionaire to be a billionaire, versus like, I want to be a billionaire to then like have $1 billion to spend on these really cool ideas, which I think we're more of that mindset because we spend every dollar we make and more.
Yeah, my next
So
question was
kind
going to
of
be,
intuitive.
You gonna create shorts?
No, I'm not meant to do that, dude. I'm gonna make an app.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk about that because I had a realization yesterday, which I actually need to apologize for on the
Okay.
air. And my apology is I've been so kind of busy with spinning up Clips ad agency, these CeraVe projects we've been talking about.
Basically, making sure we don't go bankrupt.
Mine, yours, and my brother's salary for a year. And actually, it's
Nice.
for the last year because we haven't been paid in since April. What month is it? 10. April is 4, 6 months. So it's the last 6 and another 6.
Really start stacking.
So then I was texting you yesterday about like, what did I say about the cartoon? Oh, I was like, yeah, we just had some like really long, kind of shitty, like we weren't really breaking through anything meetings yesterday. Although we did actually come out of them with a couple good gems, but it took fucking an hour. And I was like, I was trying to take the silver lining of that because we kind of hate meetings. And I was thinking like, oh, you know what? Those crappy 50-minute meetings that end up with like a little 5-minute gem at the end, they're worth bearing because think about like if we're going to do a cartoon someday, one thing we learned from the Simpsons writers is like their job was to sit around a writing table for 10 hours a day and hope that a group of 12 of them wrote one joke. And that's kind of what it felt like. We were like, my brother was like, so, do you have any ideas for this ad campaign we're doing? I'm like, I don't have a single idea right now. It's like, I'm like trying to turn my eyeballs back in my head and look at my brain. There's nothing there.
My idea was Patches O'Houlihan.
Yeah, we're talking about acne patches. Well, you had 2 ideas. One, why are we selling the negative Nelly? Why are we making ads? Why are we making ads for like skincare stuff I don't believe in?
Like snake oil.
Snake oil. And 2, if we're gonna sell acne patches, those little stickers, then we should do something with Patches O'Houlihan from Dodgeball. Which actually,
if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
That actually like helped break. We were just kind of sitting around with no ideas for 20 or 30 minutes. And what made that call fun is like the Patches O'Houlihan. You actually got a huge cack out of my brother, which was surprising.
I never know, dude. It's crazy. Especially like with the horse meme last night too. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I like that.
Like he's like, that's the hardest I've ever laughed on my phone. Like it's funny. I didn't know it hardest he's ever laughed. I'm like, you never know with that guy.
Well, he gets his social media, like he goes on Facebook and he goes through like Facebook videos. It's just different. It's like slightly older. Yeah. Anywho,
we cracked through.
No, so I'm like, you know what? This is probably good practice for the cartoon someday because that's kind of what it felt like. We're just gonna have to sit around for an hour and try and come up with one good idea, and we did. And you texted like, yes, agreed. Granted, like cartoon is super far away, if not never, and that had me
never. Well.
If not never,
if never,
if never. Never. It might never happen. And that got me thinking like, 1, why? And then 2, you were like, because I think this app, the Smart Nonsense Learning app, could be the perfect fit for our audience. And it's like, it's more elegant. It's directly in our wheelhouse. It's probably a lot easier than a cartoon and actually has or does the thing we want to bring to the world, which is like learning, which we can talk about. And that's my apology, which is I thought we were just kind of making an SAT app on the side. Turns out, no, this is like the Smart Nonsense way of learning app.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's where it gets kind of confusing when I'm talking to stickers all day and I'll like see visions and stuff and I realize that other people aren't seeing the visions. But like to me, I'm like, oh, cartoon's dead because we're just gonna make the cartoon in the app.
Cartoon's different.
But we can have basically the cartoon in the app with like, yeah, it's a totally different thing. But like animations of like, you can build a story within the app in this ecosystem. And I think it just makes more sense. Like, one, we don't have to go to a Netflix and then kind of like with CeraVe where there's like Suits giving notes. Like we'll just never have that because it's the app and we own it and we can have Taylor Swift fighting Mahatma Gandhi or Sabrina Carpenter fighting Mao.
Chairman Mao.
Like we can do whatever the fuck we want. So I like that.
It's
just like learning by doing versus
right. It's super applied. So the cartoon, Okay, the reason they're different is I see the cartoon as like super duper duper top of funnel on like network TV. That's just how you get in
Yeah.
every single person's home, every 6-year-old's home. And you have a fun cartoon and, the game, the SAT app, SAT first, but the Smart Nonsense app is actually like applied learning. It's making learning fun. That's where I kind of love hate our North Star is like it's kind of vague. But if I look at the Smart Nonsense SAT app, I'm like, oh, that does fit in making learning fun. Therefore, we should do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super applied. It's super applied because you're
The
actually
fun,
doing the learning.
we're at a stage right now where we're trying to like get the vision. I actually had a really good inspo. I'm curious to see. I'm going to get some mock-ups today. Which, by the way, awesomeness of having a company is just having resources where you can like get mock-ups from like people on your team, like take them off projects and just be like that. So companies are sick. Oh, I had a sorry, fucking tangent. I had a sub point of like companies. Like once you build a company, like your wealth and like you can just like keep leveling up the game super easily because you already have this foundation of resources. And, like say for
Oh,
this app, we then hire some like developer. Oh, we're just gonna have that developer in our ecosystem forever. And then we can just stack anytime we have an app idea or any other computer idea.
well, we're now like thinking about products underneath the umbrella,
Hmm.
which is interesting. I was at a dinner with two friends the other night, and they're kind of like, Horatio actually, and one other guy, and the where we all kind of overlap, Venn diagram overlap each other is over like business ideas, kind of like my first million stuff, scrappy cash flow stuff, and like side hustly things. And so we got to a point in the conversation where I think Horatio was just like, so like kind of like what's next? Like, do you have any ideas? Or no, we were gonna play with the Replit AI agent, and he was like, Henry, like, do you have an idea for something we could plug in the agent and see if it spits out? And kind of like our call with Jack, I just sat there and I was like, I don't have a single
Ugh,
business
beat
idea.
down, dude.
But Horatio's response was like, that's actually probably good. That means business maturity. As in, my counter was like, I'm just trying to solve, like, we've got something working. I don't think about new ideas to spin up. It's more just like, what are the products and like, what's the stuff we can do inside of our umbrella?
Right,
I
right.
couldn't tell you the last time I had a business idea, which is crazy because I used to be idea guy.
Yeah, yeah, and
Beat
that's
down
partly why we don't care too much about my first million type stuff like that.
anymore.
Fuck, I got sauced on some tangent once I started talking about development. Oh, what stage we're at? Basically we're at the stage of like we have this rough hazy vision, trying to make it more solidified with some mock-ups, and then what is the simplest viable way of testing that? So like our mock-ups, we have like you'll play the game and then it'll like figure out what you're getting wrong and what you're taking long on. Then you can go and like train with those modules of like, hey, you did a lot of trigonometry wrong. Here's the trigonometry module with like you can basically buy explainers and like similar problems that were solved, and just like learn super well through what you're getting wrong. And a bunch of other dynamics with like who knows, like fucking kill animations and stuff like that. But like, what is the simplest version of the game that we can test and just be like, are people going to sit down and
Yes or
like
no?
battle their friends in something that probably takes pen and paper for most of the time? Um, and so I'm just trying to like, or we're trying to simplify the game as much as possible to like our core assumptions. Like, core assumption is these math problems are so exciting. People are going to like sit at their desk and do them rather than take a SAT prep book. Like that's assumption number one that we're trying to test. And so just getting mock-ups of that and then gonna get a developer to figure that one out. But it's kind of a fun process. I
It
like it.
is fun.
That's my bow on that.
What's hard is what we really are and need to figure out is, and what we spent a lot of time thinking about is like, what is the competition doing? How do other SAT things work? How are other courses or things like Duolingo, how do they get people to learn? And what we need to figure out here is like, what is the smart nonsense method for learning? And it was basically like,
Well, it's like yeah.
what?
Well,
Oh,
uh, I mean, part of my I think it's competition That's a big part of it.
Competition and
I don't
actually
know. I feel
doing
like our
stuff,
friend group.
right?
Granted, you're the one person that isn't competitive. Yeah. Sorry. Like, yeah, doing things and like competing while doing stuff is probably the.
Well, yeah. So I think the thesis
But then like
is,
all our shorts are just
I
watching.
think
So
the thesis is, and this goes for any way we've learned, any way we've studied for a test, how we took the SAT and ACT. It's like just get into doing the thing as fast as possible. See what you're getting right. See where your weaknesses are. Go learn about your weaknesses, and then come back and do more doing. So it's like do a bunch of problems, figure out the ones you're getting wrong, spend time figuring out why you're getting those things wrong, go do a bunch more problems. Um, that's been our method at least, which is like counter to like go get a book, read all this theory, read everything first, and learn how to do all these formulas. It's like no, just do as many problems as you physically can because that's the game.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I probably have a mixed mentality. Like, I'm a big picture guy. Like, if I don't see the big picture, which problems tend to be super micro, then I get pretty sauced. Um, so I think there's some way to finesse both, which I don't know what that is, but at least like the game, it's gonna make doing problems super fun. Um, I got separate tangents. I don't think we
What you
gotta
got?
beat this horse. Um, well, so I got some friends here in the city. Some of them hook us up with sweet Cerebi deals and the like. And we got a trip coming up to, we don't know where. We're trying to plan it, and it's a lot of people, so it's kind of hard to plan. But potentially Costa Rica.
Okay.
Um, I got 2 points here, really. The first point is one of these people in the group. He has a startup, but he's one of those people that's like the cracked out founders mode. Like, I'm gonna grind. Like, in his job posts for hiring, he's like, what is the? It's like
996.
some numbers. That's like you work 6 days a week. 996, is that it?
Am I? I must be on a lag.
9 hours.
Nine to
What is
nine,
that?
6 days a week.
Yeah, no, you're blurry on my screen. 9 to 9, 6 days a week. Uh, and so that's what he's advertising. Basically, he's just grinding super hard. And he now is like, I don't know if I can go on this trip because I'm not allowing myself to do those fun things until we get 1 million in ARR, as in like $1 million a year recurring with his startup. And to me, what I don't understand, if your company does not yet have product market fit, as in there's like people begging, like hounding you to use their product or your product, what's the rush? Like why you gotta, like, there's no like, his industry isn't one that's like super AI heavy. That's like the tech is here and you gotta like seize the moment. It's literally just like no one's thought to build this ever, and so
And it's
that's
just going to take time to figure
it's kind
out.
of like you when you're like, what's the rush to buy dirt.com? It's like, yeah, no one's like coming after this. So like, why are you putting a gun to your head and like saying you can't, like every weekend he's like, dude, I gotta be in bed by 9 p.m. I can't go out. I'm like, why? Fucking who's chasing you, dude?
The boogeyman.
But apparently, I think it's just, yeah, there's some invisible like VC boogeyman that's just like, "Woo, you can't have fun," and
Oh, is
it
it
bothers the
VC?
fuck out of me.
VC funded?
Almost as much as this lag. Yeah, yeah. Which, but he's got plenty of runway, so it doesn't even make sense. It just bothers me. It's like, you know, being young, save some time,
Never
and have
get that
fun,
back.
and just like he's just like purposely making himself miserable because that's the narrative he's been told that he has to do, which is silly.
Change
Um,
your narrative.
Second
Change.
point, dude, man, we haven't had Wi-Fi issues in so long that I forgot how frustrating this is.
Second point.
The other point was we're going through Costa Rica. Oh, Jesus Christ. I might just gotta shut it down after that. Second point doesn't even matter.
Gardaloo!
Gardaloo!
And on the saddest lag switch Gardaloo low.